Things Kentucky Sunday Conversation. We got former Lafayette standout and former UK standout, Mr. Landon Young, sits down with us. It talks about the upcoming draft and how it was playing football in the state of Kentucky.
Welcome to Big Things Kentucky Sunday Conversation. This week, Coach Buell, who is our guest this week?
Coach, we got Landon Young, former UK standout and former Lafayette star.
All right, we here with former Lafayette General, UK Wildcat, big dog, Mr. Landon Young. How you doing, Landon?
Oh, I can't complain. Lord bless me with another day on the green side of the grass.
Landon, man, you had a stellar career at Lafayette, man. Played along with some other good cats. Started UK pretty much as a freshman all the way through. Has had a lot of success in UK, man. What do you attribute it to?
First off, I attribute it to my faith. You know, if the Lord wasn't there and I didn't have the Lord in my heart, I wouldn't half of this wouldn't be able to do it, period. And second off, you know, I had a lot of people introduced in my life between coaches, family, friends that always kept me grounded, kept me motivated, kept me loved, and made me want to continue to pursue my career and better myself as a person more than anything.
Now, you know, you came at the end of this year. I know you had the option to either go pro or come back. You know, can you kind of walk us through how you made that decision?
Yes, sir. So last year I actually had the option to either leave or go. And that was sort of a decision-making process with me. But where I missed the 2018 season due to injury, you know, NFL wants to see a whole body of work. They want to see you, you know, continue to grow, continue to get better, and continue to improve on the field, as long as off the field as well. So it was a big decision last year of not, you know, really if I'd make it, but where I would make it, if I'd be happy with where I made it. And I decided, you know, coming back for this last season was going to be the best move for me as a person and in my NFL stock. So this year, again, it was that decision, you know, could I come back for a 6th year or do I go ahead and leave in my 5th year? Because this year didn't count for eligibility at all. So sort of the decision I made is, well, one, I was already done with my degree. I was done with that in 3 to 3.5 years. And so I was picking up another degree and finished the minor on that. And I could have finished out the major. But at that point, I was like, you know, I think that I've done about as much as I can do at UK. And I think it's time to step into the next phase of football, be able to help provide for my family one day, and also just continue to play the game I love, but at a higher level. Be able to get that more competition to help, again, better myself even more. And so it's been a really, you know, different process. I've never had a family member. I've never had, you know, someone really close to me go through this process. So everything that we're going through, my family, my wife, me, we're all sort of learning as we go. And so at first, you know, the agent process, getting into that. And of course I had them talking to me last year and this year, picking an agent that I truly felt comfortable. You know, maybe they're not the biggest agency, maybe not the smallest agency, but an agent I truly trusted. That was one of the biggest things for me. Am I going to go and am I going to enjoy sitting down with that guy, talking to him? Do I trust that he's telling me the truth of everything, that he's being honest and blunt when he needs to be blunt? Or if he's just filling my head full of smoke, you know, saying, oh, I'm going to get you this, get you that, when he has no say on draft day where I'm going to get drafted. And so through that process, finally got an agent at the end of this season, said, you know what, I think this is going to be the best move for me, being able to go to the next level, go ahead, continue my career. Your body has only so many hits in it, and I want to be able to continue that under a paid scale and under a more competitive scale. So I chose an agent, declared for the draft on social media, everything like that. Got shipped out to where I'm at right now. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona at EXOS. And we've been out here for a month already. I'll be out here for 2 more months until our pro day, since the combine got canceled, of course. And, you know, just training away. After pro day, I'll be at UK until draft. And but like I said, it's been a very interesting sort of process, a whole new learning experience for me.
Now, you know, you probably had the option to play in the Senior Bowl. Did you decided against that to work training on your own?
So I actually did not get invited to the Senior Bowl. I got invited to the NFLPA game and the Shrine Bowl. Okay. And those, of course, both got canceled. I was going to play in one of those. But they had virtual sort of experiences where I got a chance to talk to Ronnie Stanley. I got a chance to talk to Jeff Saturday. and sort of learn the nooks and crannies of your rookie year in the NFL and sort of the atmosphere of the NFL. So that was really interesting, really one of a kind situation where you get to actually sit down and have that chop talk with guys that have been at the highest level and they've been very successful at the highest level. So yeah, of course, I wish I would have been able to play in the Reese's Bowl, but at the end of the day, whether I like it or not, God has a bigger plan for me, and I know that was part of the barrier that He put in my path to see how I would overcome it.
Now, like I said earlier, man, you look like you're slimming down. Just kind of walk us through what are you going through at EXOS? I've seen some little videos and stuff, but what exactly do you do at EXOS? Give us a rundown of your day.
Yes, sir. So I originally came in at about 325, 323. And I know my goal was to sort of slim my body down the right way. I'm not trying to just lose weight, lose that muscle mass, but I'm trying to lose weight and put it on in a good place, good way, sort of lean up. Because I don't care how souped up your Ferrari is, and it can do that 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. But if you're hauling the trailer, it's not going to hit that 3 seconds.
I love that. I love that.
So I wanted to get off a little bit of that excess weight that I sort of accumulated there at the end of the season and stuff like that, and wanted to make sure that my body was ready for an NFL atmosphere, that I could compete with those guys. So out here, again, it's a 2-day workout sort of thing. So in the morning, we're going out and we're doing our movement. So 3 days a week, we do our linear movement. So our 40 training sort of starts, flying 20s, stuff like that. Sort of, we're not running full 40s, but we're breaking down those steps to maximize each step that we can with eliminating the possibility of injury. Mm-hmm. So after that, of course, we get shakes, nutrition. We come back at about.
So they feed y'all? I mean, it's like, are you kind of like on a diet? Do they custom make a diet for you?
Absolutely. So we, when we first get in there, they do a full body evaluation, sort of see where you're at on a body fat standpoint. See where you're at on weight, see what on composition, everything like that. And they sort of blend that diet towards you. It's all pre-made meals and sort of prep meals that are given to us, and we get a full days at a time. So they get us, of course, like gut health supplements. They give us supplements for vitamin D, vitamin C, all those stuff that our body's going to need to perform at the best level, especially with how rigorous the workouts are. So we come back in the afternoon, about 1:30, and that's when we do our lifting session. So it used to be lifting in the morning, running in the afternoon, but they found out that they get a little bit more out of guys when they're running in the morning and lifting in the afternoon. Excuse me. So we go back, and 3 days a week we do usually our, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is when we do our upper body endurance, strength, all that stuff with the bench test. And then Monday we do lower body, and that's sort of, working on our different things like our vert, and then just explosion, being able to run, the power coming out of your 40 in that start. So we're sort of into the second phase now. We're focusing more on our broad, our vert, and being able to get that explosion out of the bottom, being able to go down quick and be powerful out of your legs up into your jump. So like I said, it changes about every 3 to 4 weeks, a different phase of sort of something that we're focusing on to help generate our bodies up to what we need it to be on that.
Now, you spoke about this whole draft process being new to you, and it's probably different now. No combat because of COVID. Have you reached out to Jed and asked any questions for him? Any concerns you had? You may ran by him, maybe.
Oh, with who? What'd you say?
With Jed.
Oh, with Jed. Yeah. So I talked to him a little, which he actually sort of, saw that different sort of process too, having the draft completely at home, going through his whole rookie season and not just going through it, but going through it at a very high level, and being during these COVID times. And I've had a chance to check in with him a little bit. We haven't gotten down to the nooks and crannies of X and O's and stuff, but I know he's a busy man, and I don't want to take a bunch of his time away from him, but I definitely hear from a lot of different guys that are even around the facility how different it is, from Josh Allen. I had a chance to sit down and talk with him for a little bit, and he said, rookie season, it was a 9 to 5. We were there all day, every day. Or it wasn't a 9 to 5. It was an all day process. He said, now with the rookie season, it's more like a 9 to 5. You get a lot more time at home, but it also gives you a lot more time to recover your body, a lot more time to look through that film, a lot more time to spend with your family, things like that. And he said, I'm sure it's not going to stay this way. But to be honest, he said it probably worked out better because it separated those guys that just wanted to go home and do nothing to the guys that are going to take what they have on the field and be able to prepare their body off the field and be truly committed to the game. But, Jed, again, I've had a chance to catch up with him a couple of times, and I'm proud of what he does. He's truly been a stud out there his freshman year and really took that transition from college ball to NFL and ran away with it.
I mean, right now, where you hearing your name being called at? What, have they said anything?
So I know that preseason or right at the beginning of the season, I had between a 4th and 6th round grade. At the end of the season, I haven't really heard much different grades. We'll get more grades once it starts getting closer to draft day.
I'm just curious, like when they say, I know they always hear people say grading. Is that like an NFL thing? Like you submit your name and they send you, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is. So they'll end up getting all 32 teams, and you'll sort of get a consensus or an average of where you're going to be. Of course, if you're a top 10 pick, you're going to go probably to whatever team you're going to go to. But, when you start getting into the 2nd round, 3rd round, they'll send out your name, and, some teams will have you maybe at a 2nd round pick. Then there will be, 12 teams that have you at a 3rd round pick, and then a couple teams that got you, later on. And of course, the teams that got you in the 6th, 7th round pick, you're probably not going to go to. Yeah. But if a majority of those are around the 2nd to 3rd round, then that's where you're going to go.
Now, do they tell you which teams have you slotted at, or is it just like a 4th, 6th round thing?
So it depends. It's like usually they'll give you a range because they how political the draft can be.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
You get trades and everything like that. So there's no promise of, hey, you're going to go here, because one team, if
do they say like New Orleans has you as a 2nd to a 3rd, and the Cowboys have you? They don't give you nothing like that, do they? Oh, no, okay. I was just wondering.
No, sir. They just give you and it's just agent based. It's like they'll give you a consensus, say, hey, we think you're going to be around this. And of course, some guys, which they get a pretty good range there, but some guys, will randomly get a call early. For example, I was talking the other day, Cleveland Farrell, the year that Josh Allen got picked, they didn't have him as a top, 5 pick, but, he got that early call, and, it's a true blessing. But, then you got some guys that are maybe a 4th, 5th round pick that don't go until maybe the end of the 7th, or maybe go undrafted, get off the board. So, like I said, you'll get more of a consensus once you get further into the process. And I'm not sure right now. Like I said, all I got's my grade from early in the season when I was meeting with scouts, or meeting with agents, not scouts. And that's where they have me now. And of course, if I can go out to the pro day and put up some good numbers and go through my interviews well and stuff like that, I think that I can definitely bump that grade up.
Being in the SEC, and you talk about that, and playing at UK, you practiced against Josh Allen, among other people. Who was your toughest person that you faced, either in practice or in the game, through your college career?
Through my whole college career, definitely, I would say the toughest person was Josh Allen, just because of all the battles that we had through 3 years there. And I went, my goal the last year that he was there was the year I, of course, got hurt right before the game. But I went through fall camp, and my goal was, this fall camp, I'm not going to let up a sack or a pressure to Josh. And I finally was able to complete that goal. And, just because every single day we were on the same rack in the weight room, we were going one-on-ones against each other every single day and trying to push each other. That sort of iron sharpens iron. He expected the best out of me, and I expected the best out of him. And I knew that if he gave everything he could, and I could block him at a good level and not be able to let up a sack or a pressure and be able to dominate that there's nobody else in the country that I can't block. Mm-hmm. So it was a confidence booster, because I was able to try things. I was able to, sort of dissect his pass rush, dissect what he does, see what and have those conversations to see what he looks for me doing and what I can do to counter that. Everything like that was super, super helpful. And like I said, it was competitive every single day. He pushed me, I pushed him in the weight room, on the field. Besides that, I did have a chance to go against some really, really good, talented guys. Alabama, my freshman year, I went against Tim Williams, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. Like, those guys are, some big-time guys in the NFL. Had the chance to go against this year. One of the best guys that I faced was Aziz from Georgia, the edge rusher from Georgia. And talk about a guy that is quick off the ball. I mean, his first 3 steps are, out there. And again, I had a chance to go against some really, really elite guys, but Josh Allen is one that truly loved practicing and truly loved pushing each other every single day. And I think that made him the best, even though, maybe he wasn't the best at going inside, but he was really, really good at going outside in college. Like, that was his, no one could stop it though. So why would he need anything else? But like I said, the best guy by character, best guy by work ethic, best guy by player that I've gone against in my college career.
Real quick, going back to your high school career, speaking of you possibly being a early draft pick, Jed being an early draft pick, being around guys like Walker Woods, all the talent you had on that team, how was that atmosphere?
It was more of a mentality with everybody. It was a standpoint where we didn't want to be, just happy with being subpar or average or anything like that. It was guys that truly not just wanted the best for themselves, but wanted the best for a team. You get athletes that come through high school programs that are like, they're focused on themselves only. And that's where, high school and college football change a lot, is because you're with guys that are, sorry about that, but you're with guys that are wanting the best for their team, because some of those guys may not have a possibility at the NFL or anything. So they're going to make the most of what they are at a college level. They have a scholarship on the line, everything like that. Well, that's how we sort of treated high school ball. High school ball, we were out there to help the team and help the future generations of that team. It wasn't just about, man, what am I going to do for myself to increase my stock the best to where I'm going to get the best college offer. I'm going to be able to prepare myself for the NFL. It was, man, I want to go out there and play for my brothers. I want to play for the guys in the brotherhood of football that you all know just as well as me. It's a very strong brotherhood. And so when you're focusing on bettering a team and you're focusing on helping those other guys around your program, then you're naturally going to get better. You're naturally going to progress in that high school atmosphere. But a lot of guys don't see it that way. We wanted to do something that hadn't been done at Lafayette in I think it was 41 years when we hit our first state championship. And of course we didn't win it, but going out there and giving everything we got was a huge milestone for that school. And I think it's going to speak for guys around. And then you saw guys like Drake Jackson and me that were guys that stayed home. And, we have pride. And that's another thing is it's a big pride thing, being able to, even in high school, go out and play for your school, for your city, because you're representing so much more. Same thing when I put that Kentucky jersey on. I was representing not just my high school, my coaches there. I was representing my family. I was representing my faith. I was representing that whole state of Kentucky at a time. And for a state that's given so much to me, or a city that's given so much to me and given me so many opportunities, why wouldn't you want to go and give something back to them?
Now, speaking about UK, man, I mean, I know, you came back for your last year. There was great expectations. COVID hit and changed the schedule around and everything, man. Then you had your lineman coach, Coach Schalrman, pass away on you. Man, just kind of tell us about your last year's experience at UK, man.
This last year was definitely trying, and it was trying for everybody. Like you said, you go into COVID, and that was the first, big thing that happened. We got changed to a 10-game SEC schedule, which that's what everyone dreams of.
Yeah.
So instead of looking at it as, oh man, now we don't have those games that we can just sort of maybe not be top dogs in, we don't have to perform our best and still be able to have a good chance of winning. You're going against the best of the best every single week. To be honest, for me, I think it was it was a blessing in disguise being able to have that, because that's what you're going to face in the NFL. That's what you're facing at the next level, is you don't have a week that you have an edge rusher that, oh, he's just not as good. No, you got the elite of the elite every single week to be able to block. And if you think, oh, well, I got, this guy this week, and that's going to be a pretty hard one. And you're just focused on that 1 week, and you're just like, okay, well, I don't have to be as good next week. You're going to get exposed. So again, very, very difficult on, having to wear masks in the weight room, getting used to that and sort of the air restriction with that. Being able to go in and get tested weekly, every single week, that was definitely something different too. But more than anything, just the camaraderie around the team, not being able to sit down and eat those dinners, eat those lunches, go to training table with those guys. And especially for the new guys, being able to learn about them, be able to dig into their life, create those relationships. That was probably one of the hardest things. Is that was something that I think last year really elevated our season. Even when we had a quarterback go down and put a wide receiver at quarterback, that was the reason I think that we still stayed so good, is just that we were so close as a team. It wasn't, the O-line's sitting over here, the wide receivers are sitting over here. It was everybody was mingled up with everybody. You had DBs with offensive linemen, sitting with quarterbacks, sitting with running backs. Like, it was all mixed up in the team, and we loved being able to learn and fight for those guys that we in the past may not have had as good of a relationship with. So that was trying sort of just being able to put that team back together on that same level without being able to have that one-on-one connection time. Then, of course, Coach Schalrman passing away, that was a hard hit for all of us because of what a wonderful man.
Now, was he your primary recruiter when you were
Absolutely.
being recruited? Okay.
He was who so originally I had another coach sort of spearhead my recruitment, and then within 2-3 weeks into me getting letters from UK, Coach Schalrman took over my recruitment immediately. So it was going on 8 years that I've known the man and created a relationship with him. And so, everyone on the team was impacted by that guy. He wasn't just an offensive line coach. He helped everybody in every phase of life, whether it be, you're a receiver and you're working about drills, and, he just had to be that sort of mentality guy with you, sort of get that negative energy out of your mind, saying, man, we get the chance to do this. You don't have to, we get a chance to do this. Or rather it was off the field and talking about your faith with him. And of course we knew that he was fighting with cancer for a long time. It was a 2-year battle. But things didn't really get bad until this season. But when I say it's one of the toughest men I've ever met in my life, that one of the tumors that he had actually was blocking off the top of his large intestine right at his stomach, and he wasn't being able to digest anything. He was just puking up everything that he was putting down. And when I say that man went in, got a stent in his digestive system, got off the anesthesia, and they told him to go home and rest, and he came out to practice. He came to coach us for the rest of that practice. And with one of his drugs, he had complete blisters on the whole bottom of his feet. That's what it felt like, he said. He said it was just like raw blisters on the bottom of his feet. But yet that man would still go out there and try to race us to drills to help keep our mentality. That he didn't want us to act like he had cancer. He wanted – I think football was a saving grace for him. I think it's part of the reason that he was able to stick around so long is because we went there and he got his mind off of it. We went there and it was football and family there. And he cared about us just like he cared about his own kids. And so he wanted that outlet to be able to take his mind off it, to be able to just enjoy and play football. A true man of the heart of the game.
That's good stuff, man.
Man, you truly are a representation of Lexington High School football and sports in the state of Kentucky and what it stands for, man.
I appreciate it. I thank you.
Man, it was good to talk to Landon about everything, learn how it was for him getting prepared for this draft, and also him representing Kentucky and his thoughts on Coach Schalrman.
Man, he spoke so passionate about Coach Schalrman, and he spoke so passionate about being a football player from the city of Lexington and the state of Kentucky. So it was great to have him. Coach, our next Sunday conversation will be with Coach Ethan Ashley from Bullitt East.
Man, Coach Ashley really gets into something that's near and dear to his heart, building his program, and he really talks about building it from the youth level up. So this is something really good for everybody that talks about how our team's going to compete with these 6A powers, Trinity, Mayo, and St. Ed's. So tune in next Sunday for that conversation. I think it'll be really good.
As always, there should be a living donor. I'm Coach Bew, my man, Coach T. Be on the side of Coach Truck.
Hey.